Come on the program, a conversation with NAWEC, the National Water and Electricity Company. Also, the University of the Gambia giving out scholarships to outstanding students. But at almost 9 minutes past 9 o'clock in the morning, let's welcome our guest, Modu Ba One. Modu, welcome back.
Thank you, Peter.
Leader of the Afro Movement.
Indeed.
Before we get into what the Afro Movement is all about and whether it's growing or not, you're here to respond to what you heard on the program last week.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for having me. It's always a great pleasure to be here at West Coast Radio.
Two friends reuniting again.
Absolutely, absolutely. It dates back a long time ago.
Absolutely.
Okay. So first of all, I would like to read my rejoinder to the Minister of Information. He's the Minister of Information, etc., etc., etc. So
I can feel that for you, Media and Broadcasting Service.
Okay, thank you.
It's a very long title.
Thank you. I have taken note of the Minister of Information dismissive remarks regarding my analysis of President Barrow's recent speech on the Jammeh assets saga. According to him, I don't have the capacity to analyze complex issues, and he doesn't know why I am ranting. These remarks were made on Coffee Time on Thursday, May 15, in response to a commentary I published on my social media platforms, an analysis that was later read on radio by a respected journalist in the person of Peter Gomez. Let me respond with clarity. Speaking truth to power is not ranting. What I did was a reasoned and structured reflection on a national issue of public concern. If presenting facts, asking questions, and holding leaders accountable is what the minister calls ranting, then he may need to revisit his understanding of democracy and civic duty. Capacity is measured by substance, not status. I did not speak from emotion or speculation. I referred to the President's own words in both English and Mandinka, cross-referenced those with investigative reports by the Republic, and highlighted inconsistencies. That is called critical analysis. If the minister doubts my capacity, he should try responding to the issues raised, not the person raising them. 3, silencing voices will not silence the truth. Many Gambians, including myself, are demanding answers, not because we want chaos, but because we want accountability. Labeling concerned citizens as unqualified does not erase the truth. It only exposes the government's fear of it. Last but not the least, focus on the message, not the messenger. Instead of engaging in personal attacks, the minister would do better to address the real issues. Why was a private account created for public funds? Where is the full report of revenues and expenditures from the Jammeh asset sales? Why was Alpha Capital still defended despite the overwhelming criticism? Why are some institutions contradicting one another on the audit? I speak as a responsible citizen, as a leader of a movement that believes in transparency and good governance. If the minister wants to debate the substance of my arguments, I am ready, any platform, anytime. Signed, Modu Ba One, leader of the Afro Movement.
Tell us about the Afro Movement. Is it duly registered as a political movement in the Gambia?
It's only IAC that can register political entities.
Yes.
And IAC, they are not registering movements. They are not registering associations, because it is against the constitution of the country that, associations are not, a movement is of course an association.
Yes.
So associations are not supposed to be registered, represent as political parties. So if you want to register your movement, it should be a political party. So we are on the process, but we are yet to be there.
Yeah, but it could be a political party. I mean, it does not have to carry the name party to become a party.
Yes.
Gambia for All, for instance, does not have party in its name, yet we all know Gambia for All to be a political party.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying, is we haven't yet registered it as a party. So already it is a movement.
Okay.
And a movement cannot be recognized in any institution here. It can only be a non-profit organization or something like that, but not a political movement. Political movements are not registered in the country.
If you're a non-profit movement, should you be dabbling in politics?
No, not by name. It is a political party, but not a recognized political party, because we don't have the necessary documents attesting that we are a political party. So it is not registered yet.
What's delaying the registration process?
Yeah, a lot of issues.
Financial?
We cannot say financial only, but we need to be prepared. Also, it takes a lot of time a lot of issues to form one. So we want to use that energy and those resources in galvanizing support, from the Gambian people instead of taking that way.
I'm sure
we have a lot on our plate.
Well, like what? I'm sure, my listeners are just as curious as I am to know what some of these issues are.
Yeah, some of these issues, just I said,
Well, you said they are not entirely financial in nature.
Yeah.
So what else? Don't you have the requisite number of people to help you, run this movement?
No, for now, our supporters, the supporters that we have in the country, they are far beyond that. But there are other challenges in terms of resource mobilization.
Okay.
Yes, in terms of
finances.
Yes, in terms of strategies, in terms of efforts, in terms of energies. So we prefer using those resources, those energies, and those whatever it takes to form or to register the party into sensitizing the people, the public, letting them know about who we are, than trying to legalize that.
All right.
That status.
So apart from you, who else is in the movement that can speak for the movement? Because usually when we have statements coming from the movement, they are always inevitably from Moduba 1.
Yes, that's right. We have also the movement is well structured. We have our national mobilizer, Sambaba. He might be listening at present. So we have the national women mobilizer, Anti-Umiba. We have the youth mobilizer, Sekou Fati. So we have all those positions that are available. But because there are certain things that needs leaders to be on the front line. So in this case, this is what happens. Particularly when it is a critical issue, a statement like this caliber, national issues. So they need profiles like us to come and talk to the people about the matter in hand.
Well, now the deputy campaign manager of President Barrow, Mamadou Sabally, a special advisor also to Barrow, has penned a response very quickly, titled Old Man Ranting, my response to Bibi Dabo. It reads, there is that wise man who does critical analysis of pertinent issues under the title Old Man Musing. I don't agree with a lot of what he says, because there are clear cases of simplistic cross-generational analysis fed by the bias of nostalgia, powered by the allure of history. Yet I respect this man for his tact. But the old man from Kiang Dumbuto, called Bibi Dabo, comes off with haughty self-righteousness powered by envy towards the powers that be. The old man served at the very helm of affairs of the First Republic, and then turned his back on Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara when Jammeh took guns and upended the Jawara government. All the wrongs that came out of the AFPRC Jammeh government were made possible partly because the then highly respected Dabo joined the boys in uniform and gave them much needed legitimacy in the public eye. Even the international community, including the IMF and the World Bank, must have softened their stance on the 1994 coup because a top public servant who had international network endorsed and approved the junta. How then can the same Bibi Dabo and his cronies at this moribund party, the GFA, point accusing fingers at President Barrow and his government regarding efforts aimed at correcting some of the errors of that government? It was the infighting and bitter power struggles under the Jawara government, powered by the same Dabo against his contemporaries like former VP Sekou Sabally and co., that exposed the cracks in the PPP regime and emboldened the AFPRC soldiers to make an attempt to take over the republic. I am not one of those who say that Jammeh destroyed this country and never did anything good for Gambians. I have never taken that position. In fact, despite the fact that I admit that serious errors were made in Jammeh's 22 years, I have always stood up to laud him for our first ever university, TV, miles of tarred roads, and sports development, among others. But for people like Bibi Dabo, who think Jammeh is the worst leader to ever lead any country, let them do some soul-searching first. And let them remember that some of us are old enough to recall the controversial case of Sanamane and his Torch newspaper against top ministers of the PPP government and revelations of the Moja dossiers. This is the preamble of my response to the old man ranting from Kiang, and someone should tell him that the Badibunkas are happy. M. Sabally.